Well, the C-SCAMP project is the result of a large grant that we have from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to map the habitats of reef fish and also sea turtles that were potentially impacted by the Deepwater Horizon project. The goals of this project are pretty lofty. Number one, we want to more than double the amount of area on the West Florida shelf that's actually been adequately mapped with both the high precision bathymetry and then also the validation of the habitat maps with a video system called C-SCAMP. And C-SCAMP is basically a system that allows us to not only verify the type of habitat that's comprising these maps, but also associate the fish and the sea turtles with the habitats that they actually occupy. And more than that, we want to demonstrate that this kind of project is cost effective and that it gets data that other technologies in the past have never been able to do.
So currently on the West Florida shelf, many of the visual surveys for stock assessments and things like that are based on stationary video cameras or sometimes ROVs. And they are definitely important data sets, but we're hoping that with the towed video, we can help fill in some of the gaps and cover more area, especially for habitat mapping purposes.
The concept of benthic habitat mapping really has two elements. First of all, it's trying to understand the bottom topography, the bathymetry of the ocean. That is, how deep is the water, and then how rugged is the bottom. Is it shallow, flat? Is it ledge, and those kinds of things. So we can use, number one, the acoustic technology called multi-beam to get those highly detailed maps of the bathymetry. The second part is actually validating what's down there, and that is using some sort of video technique, in this case a towed video system.
We look at the bathymetry itself and its derivatives like slope, aspect, rugosity, which is how rough the seafloor is in certain areas, and also the backscatter, which is a measure of the intensity of the return that we get from the seafloor. And that tells us roughly how hard or soft the bottom might be. And so we're going to look at all those things and pull them together with our fish counts and some of the other data we collect, hopefully put it all together in a big pot and come up with a way to classify the seafloor and describe the habitats down there for various key species.
Fishermen want to know, and the management community needs to know how many fish there are. And that's important for the basic reason that my daughter and future generations, there's enough fish out there to catch. So we're trying to figure out faster, cheaper, better ways to help count fish and help fisheries managers make sure there's the right amount of fish going down the road for future fishermen to catch.
I think managers, number one, are quite curious about where are the areas that they should really pay attention to in terms of protecting resources and maybe extending those protections to include closures. And the only way you can figure that out is to actually do projects like this. So, my feeling about the team that we've assembled is it represents a lot of talent in a lot of different fields. For example, we've got software developers and engineers that are helping us not only with the data acquisition parts, but also the archiving of the tremendous amount of data that we've got. We've got fishery biologists that are helpful in identifying the types of habitats that we're dealing with and also identifying the fishes that are there. And then we've got technologists who are actually inventing new technologies. And to my mind, that's a really exciting mix or a bouillabaisse of people that working together, all kind of learning, the tools and techniques of each other. And that's a really exciting thing for me as well.